I walked into the cozy suburban home, my heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. I was finally going to meet my girlfriend's parents, a significant step in our whirlwind romance. As I stepped into the living room, the sight that greeted me was anything but what I expected. There, standing next to her, was a man with an arm around her waist, two children playing at their feet. The air froze, and my mind raced to process what I was seeing. Was this some kind of joke, a mistake? But the way she looked at him, with a familiar tenderness, told me everything. The room felt smaller as I struggled to catch my breath, my mind a chaotic whirlpool of emotions. She opened her mouth, but I couldn't hear her over the roaring in my ears. My thoughts flashed back to every moment we had shared, every whispered promise and late-night confession. How could she lead a double life so seamlessly, weaving me into the fabric of her deceit? I had been blindsided, my reality shattered in an instant. The man looked at me, his eyes curious yet unaware of the tangled web in which we were all ensnared. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but the words strangled themselves before they reached my lips. I thought about walking out and never looking back, but my feet were glued to the spot, as if waiting for an explanation that might mend the crumbling pieces of my heart. She stepped forward, her eyes pleading, and whispered something to him. He nodded and led the children out of the room, leaving us alone in a silence that was both heavy and deafening. I needed to know why she had chosen to live this lie, and why I had been the one caught in its crossfire. Her confession was a torrent of guilt and desperation, a story of a love that had grown complicated, of choices made in moments of weakness. She admitted she had fallen for me, truly, but was trapped in a life she couldn't escape. As her words spilled out, I realized the internal conflict she faced was one I understood all too well, the fear of breaking free versus the comfort of the familiar. It hit me then, the twist in my own narrative. I wasn't just a victim of her deception. I was a willing participant in my own disregard for the truth. Just as she was torn between two worlds, so was I, facing the reality of my own choices and the lies I had told myself.